And something that even Ronaldo, I think, reflected on Twitter, congratulating the team.
There he is, the man that we're speaking about in green at the top of your picture. It's quite a slight build, but very super lithe and agile.
Likes to go away from the table. Top spin, control, guiding almost like the style of Michael Appelgren back in the day. Away from the table, guiding, and there is Patrick Franziska. Tall, strong young man. Still only 22 years old, and certainly been given a huge vote of confidence by the German Federation, having played last year in Tokyo in the team championships. Up and coming German.
Yeah, 56 ranked Franziska in this third round competition. First round he beat Lashin of Egypt 4-0. There's the umpire, Roman Klecker from the Czech Republic. Second round, Franziska beat Stefan Mengel 4-1. Now, he was ranked 31st in the world, and Franziska's only 56, so I've got that down as a really good win for him. A man on the up, coached by Jörg Roskopf there in the picture. Very experienced coach, hangs out with Timo Boll and, of course, Dima Ovcharov as well, who got sent packing yesterday by Sansu. He's the Portuguese coach.
Yeah, commentated on the 4-0 win against Lashin. You know, those games were close, but Patrick Franziska showed resilience to come through that one. Lashin, a quite relaxed style, very dangerous on the forehand side, but Patrick much too strong. And in terms of Marcus Freitas, well, he's had a couple of testing matches too. Round 2 defeating Yoshida of Japan 4-2, and in the first round Pereira of Cuba, that was 4-1, a little bit easier for Marcus. Marcus was the winner at the Czech Open on the World Tour in 2014, and he reached the last 16 in Paris, so he's got some pedigree, as opposed to Patrick Franziska, who has actually recovered this season from ankle surgery and had some months on the side. So this will be fascinating as the left-handed Marcus Freitas gets us underway here. It's the men's singles third round, last 32 here in the Chorus 2015 World Table Tennis Championships. Nice serve and third ball from the Portuguese player. One of the strengths of his game. These players have played twice on tour. And in fact, it's 2-0 for the Portuguese. And talking to our fellow commentator, Richard Prowse, earlier, obviously knows Patrick very, very well. Richard saying that it's important for Patrick to be close and tight around the net, serve and receive, to survive in close and get into the open rallies where he's normally exceptionally strong. Just misses that one.
So nothing between them then. First game, early doors. Should be a real cracking contest though, because the German, very much a fast riser, coming up through those rankings at rocket speed. And as you said, he's very well thought of by the German Federation.
Plays a very efficient and effective game. Not really flashy in any way. Plays very, very clever. Good serve, good receive, good third ball. But generally doesn't do anything too flashy. Very, very solid. You'll see him if Marcus Freitas goes away from the table, Patrick will be very composed. He won't try and go for any fade shots. He'll just be very, very solid.
German efficiency, hey? Like their cars.
Absolutely. Vorsprung and all that. There's classic Marcus Freitas. Starts in at the table, takes a few blocks here and there, moves away from the table, finds his semi-distance. Should have some rallies in this match, Paul.
Yeah, he's got a gorgeous forehand loop, the lefty in FREITAS. A lot of control there. And as I say, super agile as well with his movement. He's only a light man, but very, very quick.
Interesting miss there. It was a little bit of a lucky block from Patrick there. You'll see that. Didn't have any pace on it, but actually the fact that it was a little bit slower was probably the reason why FREITAS didn't convert it.
So many ways of skinning a cat in table tennis, isn't there? Height, spin,
yeah,
speeds.
absolutely. And sometimes a change of speed and tempo is crucial. Like other racket sports, of course. There we go, as I was saying, nice and solid. Lovely backhand opener there from Patrick Franziska.
Yep, we've got Marlong on the adjacent table, table 1, so every now and then you can listen to the noise coming from that table. So the German, 2 points clear at the moment from FREITAS. Both opting for the towel down, which they can do, of course, every 6 points. Just probing, feeling the opponent's game and reminding themselves of their set plays that's going to be most efficiently used against these sort of opponent.
And also on tonight, just to keep the viewers abreast of what's going on, Paul, we also have another Portuguese, Geraldo. He's taking on 39-year-old Vladimir Samsonov at the same time as this fixture. So lots of positives coming out of these World Championships for the Portuguese. Continue to perform and delight. So 8-7, Franziska with the serve. Big advantage here if he can pull this point off. Here we go, FREITAS away from the table, and it's good play from Franziska there. Pinned him down on the backhand side, forced him to sort of swing at it.
Almost turned it around, didn't he? Good, solid defense, just missing that last backhand. Pulled out of there, should have stayed down, indicates Richard Prowse, coach of the Werner Schlager Academy beside us here.
Good spin from Franziska.
Yep, he was on that like a rash all over that one. Get to the top of the bounce. Good forehand flip kill. Such a tightly contested business end of this first game.
That was an incredible serve. Did you see the swerve on that?
Oh,
he's just clipped the edge. You've got to take him if you get him. I think it all balances out in the end. He was under pressure there, Patrick Franziska, right from the service, which swerved all over the table. Somehow he's escaped, though, with that block that just clipped the edge.
So 2 game points then. Franziska. Oh, embarrassing moment. 2 game points on his own serve. Good receive from FREITAS, very brave. Takes the ball on well. Always nice to get that game cushion under your belt, just psychologically, and just allows you to be that little bit more free swinging in the second game. That's a tremendous receive.
Did it clip
for
the net? I'm
Freitas?
not
Yes,
sure.
it
It was
did.
a serve that just drifted long. Freitas has done the right thing. Yes, he's acknowledging there a pardon. Entschuldigung, excuse me, sorry. I think he's let the ball fall. He's done the right thing to try to accelerate to take the advantage. Just clip the top of the net. I guess that's honours even, Paul, on the edges in the nets. And quite rightfully now we're at 10-all.
3 points in a row then for Freitas. That's good work. Under pressure as well of being game points down. Showing real character here.
It's a good serve. Changed it up, has Franziska. Nice top spin.
The grimace in response from Freitas says it all.
Good to see great variation on the serves. These players doing reverse forehand serves, pendulum, and then also spins are different. Backspin, topspin, not letting each other settle very much. Neither of them used the long fast serve really yet.
Short canny play. Franziska coming out on top of that rally. Has another game point. Can he convert on this opportunity?
He has to fancy his chances with the serve. Served well so far.
Opting for the fast long serve, and it pays off. And the German does indeed take the first game, 13 points to 11. He'll be elated at that as he heads to his coach.
Estás a jogar por aqui no meio, mesmo de esquerda, mas tens de jogar muito forte. Tu muito atrás, salta pelo campo. Sabes que quando jogas um efeito devagarinho aqui, vai fazer sempre um devagarinho aqui. E esta bola, calma, tens tempo. Varia a recepção. Vamos lá.
So a very closely contested first game here in this men's round 3, last 32 match. It went the way of Marcus Freitas, 13-11. Ireland used to play against Portugal, you know, Paul, back in the day. In 2001 in Osaka, we actually played Portugal for the 49-50 playoff place. What has changed since then? Remarkable ascendancy from Team Portugal. And just talking to, again, Richard Prowse earlier in terms of what are the key things that allow a nation to move in such a way. And there are a few things in play. Clearly you need some players coming through. You also need them to own their own destiny and really want it.
And the coach
and
got
go
coach
abroad.
of the year as well.
Yeah,
didn't
that's
he?
right. And part of that is about the players then going abroad to where the best leagues are, where the best practice is. But Portugal at the moment have a group of players that are just driven for success, and their world rankings prove that they are certainly achieving those dreams. European champions, incredible. So it's very much good to see that if you're prepared to put the work in and you're prepared to follow the dream and work hard, things can be achieved.
Yeah, things can materialise pretty quickly. It is about keeping your eye on the prize, isn't it? Working solidly every day and attention to detail. No more so, of course, than the Chinese players. Amazing. It just seems sort of almost like years away sometimes to the rest of the pack in their preparation. So thorough.
And they work so hard.
Yeah. Leave no stone unturned.
Absolutely. Again, close start in this second game here. Top spin serve for Franziska. Gets it back to 3-all. Not really got a rhythm, either of these two players yet. Feeling their way into the match. First game, particularly at the end, was a little bit tense, nervy. I'm sure things will open up. So, FREITAS, 3-all.
Terrific forehand. Topspin there from FRANZISKA. Really jamming in the body of FREITAS. He's got quite a lot of power, the big, tall German. Can suddenly just rush FREITAS. Oh, fast long serve. Very effective. Haven't seen many of them, have we?
Yeah, we talked about at the end of the first game the fact that they'd varied their serves, but they hadn't actually gone for a long one. There it was. Good play from that man, Marcus FREITAS. Beautiful touch from the left-hander.
Terrific serve.
Ball.
Yeah, set the point up well, didn't it? Deviating everywhere, that one. Gave the pop-up receive and then killed the ball 3. Well played, FRANZISKA. So deadlock then, second game. Nothing between them. The German, of course, leading 1-0.
A couple of questions, Paul, in on Twitter on hashtag Ask the Commentator. We've got one in about Ma Long, the fact that he lost his doubles. Do you think he can win this title, the singles, at last? You know what? Just seeing a glimpse of him out of the corner of our eye here on the other court. The fact that he's now not got doubles as well, I think could be a blessing in disguise. It was a real shame to see him and Timo Boll go out of the doubles. Paired up against Zhang Jike, of course, and Xu Xin, just because of the seedings of the way that they were done. Based on points on the Pro Tour, very early on, round 2. But I think maybe that gives him one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, true, true.
And I would fancy his chances here for sure. We saw Xu Xin struggle a little bit earlier. You can never tell with Zhang Jike. He's the big tournament player.
Yes, he is. He's the go-to man under pressure for the Chinese, that's for sure. And Ma Long, well, he's really got to prove himself, hasn't he, and win some sort of big title to really hold himself, hold his head high in that elite pack of Fan Zhendong, Zhu Xin, and Zhang Jike, of course. He's the main man.
And here, meanwhile, FRANZISKA's sped on a little bit. 9-5 now in game 2. He's getting a grip of this match. Facing the FREITAS serve.
Terrific forehand flash from FREITAS. Another roar as Ma Long extends his lead on table 1. Game to the good. 9-5 up in the second game.
Lovely ball from FREITAS, that. Beautifully played. The timing was perfect. Oh,
fast
what a
long ace.
Service.
Don't get many of them.
Against somebody with the reach and stature of FRANZISKA. Quite incredible. 9-7.
Gutsy serve from the man in green.
Oh, it's a good serve, and third ball attacked by Patrick FRANZISKA. Gives himself 3 game points to take a 2-0 lead. There's question in as well here about this match, FRANZISKA and FREITAS. I think in the opening sequence we just reflected on the fact that FREITAS had won the 2 matches on tour. Indeed, 4-0 and 3-0, so FRANZISKA really struggled in the past, but not here, not in Suzhou in 2015. That's 11-7. And the young 22-year-old German now has a 2-0 advantage.
essa merda não. É essa merda que está a fazer agora. Este ferro foi o gajo a servir sempre um bocadinho por cima e tu a tentar fechar, a primeira bola fácil e ficaste
Não parece bem mesmo assim tão por cima, percebes? Eu penso, consigo já curto.
Tenta ver o cabo quando está levantado, quando o gajo toca a bola.
O serviço não está assim nada. Não está a ser cumprido. Tem que fazer mais um outro, os outros dois. Third game, FREITAS to serve. Level.
So Franziska then, the tall German, 56th ranked, 22 years old, that's all. 2 games to love up against the 8th seed here. This would be his first career top 10 win. And he has 2 more games to go. He's halfway there for a berth in round 4. Can he convert this micro opportunity here against FREITAS, whose body language is just sort of spiraling down?
Yeah, it is, but he is the man for comebacks. Must be noted, in many, many events, he comes back. Does FREITAS. FREITAS the fighter.
Terrific
great ball.
The off forehand, didn't he get around it well for a big man? Hit the inside of the ball and it just deviated out to the right there really well. Getting some really tidy ball right now, Franziska. Good body language, very positive, composed, good mental skills. And again, he's getting yeah, he is, isn't he? He's had a lot of fruit from the serve to the forehand as well of FREITAS. FREITAS opting to run around there and go for the backhand loop, but to no avail. Oh, point of the match. What a great exchange that was.
FREITAS so good on the backhand topspin away. Look at that, he actually spins round. Patrick was in control. And then look, he just starts to bring himself back into it, FREITAS, with that beautiful technique. Anybody looking to play backhand topspin, just watch FREITAS, beautiful. Look how they just control it here. Lots of club players would go for a winner. These top guys play the percentages at that point.
Yeah, there's a lot of spin and safety on there, isn't there? Just to ensure the ball finds table.
And positioning and placement is equally important as power. Strong in the legs, both these players, finding the right position, good technique. 3-all. So 3 matches on. And 3 players, 2 games to the good. Patrick Franziska, our match here. Malong, Vladimir Zamzonov. 4-3, Patrick Franziska with another serve. Bit of a loose serve and a bit of a tentative third ball.
Yeah, the question on everybody's lips now is, can the big, tall, young German, only 22 years old, derail the big man, the 8th seed?
He's trying to force it there. No real need.
Yeah, it's one thing having a lead, but it's another converting it to a W. And that battle comes down to self-belief. It's largely between the ears. FREITAS now with very aggressive body language, very focused.
Good serve, third ball from Franziska. Much tighter than his last sequence. Must focus on that. Good variation on the service. Nice third ball follow-up.
So signs of doubt from the German. A little bit hesitant, not quite so free throwing. You know, this is what happens to players, isn't it? They can sniff the finish line a little bit, you know, and there it is, and then suddenly, oh, I'm almost there, what do I have to do? And then they tighten up a little as a consequence. You just got to go one ball at a time. Do those basics really well, because FREITAS has 2 points lead in this game. Is this the start of the comeback? Can he tough it out here?
That's good solid play from FRANZISKA. A place in the last 16 here at the World Championships is at stake. Nice touch receive from Patryk FRANZISKA. Gets himself back to 7 apiece. A little bit of uncertainty now, and shown in the body language of Marcus FREITAS.
And he's got to be strong favourite, the German, if he can get to 3-love. Big moments these for him, for both players, in fact. Look at the look of focus in the green-shirted FREITAS' eyes.
Oh, he could have really gone for that there, Patrick. Situation he finds himself in, 2-0, 7-all. He should have really gone for it. Maybe just underestimated the amount of rotation in the ball, the amount of spin from FREITAS.
Still has one more serve.
Ah, he went for the long one. Maybe the right thing to do, I would say yes. Went into the backhand. Maybe if he'd have placed it more into the middle, he'd have had more success. Well picked up from FREITAS. And suddenly, within a moment, it shifts back to 2-point deficit. Or advantage if you're supporting the Portuguese. Just clips the net there and acknowledges an apology.
Coach behind Marcus FREITAS is trying to stay cool, but he's twitching all over the place, as one would. Huge moments here. Just 2 points away from the game is FREITAS, but let's not forget Francisca's only 3 points away from the game himself. Only 1 point between them. Oh, brilliant
rally.
Full of margin and work on the ball. Both men rallying pretty safely.
So the 2 other matches on at this moment in time have both gone to 3-0. But this one might not do the same.
FREITAS, 2 game points, toweling down, rightly taking his time, collecting his thoughts, calming down. But it's on the FRANZISKA serve. And that's been a tough ask. He hasn't been as impeccable as he normally is on return, FREITAS. Let's see what this point brings. Again, stunning ball 3 from FRANZISKA.
It was interesting, that, Paul, because the serve was a little bit bouncy. But FREITAS didn't accelerate all the way through on it, and that gave Patryk FRANZISKA the chance to make a winner. Saves game point number 1. Here comes game point number 2. Oh, that's a great acceleration. Great forehand-backhand combination. The big man moves like he has twinkle toes. Watch how he moves here. Fast flick, beautifully picked up there. Didn't concede any ground, which I think was the important thing. FRANZISKA moved straight across for the forehand, straight across back for the backhand. Was able to take the ball nice and early. And now we have juice.
Juice. He came out 13-11 in the opening game, did FRANZISKA. Is he going to do it again? Beautiful receive, explosive forehand, so much guts and determination. Needs to do it again.
Game point for FRANZISKA to go 3-0. What a lead that would be in this last 32 third round encounter. Oh, he's been aggressive again. It's the backhand that's making the difference here in this match, Paul. The 22-year-old German pumps the air. Let's see his reaction again. You can see how much it means to him. He wants it with Ovtcharov gone. He wants to stamp his authority. He wants to fly the flag here in Suzhou. Excellent performance so far from Patryk Franziska. 3-0.
Ele não faz uma bola comprida. Se tu não vis armar o braço para a chibita, não podes ficar tão longe para jogar a bola a seguir. É que nunca mais tens conta outra vez. O gajo está a dominar o jogo todo.
Coloca uma toalha, põe uma toalha logo ali no...
Tu serves, ele fecha, tu estás sempre muito longe da bola para fechar outra vez. Se ele não armar para a chibita, está bom fechar. Vai lá.
So Marcos Freitas in green then, with plenty to ponder, trailing love 3 in this men's third round encounter in the evening session on day 5. Is he going to be going home? Or can he fight back, as so often we've seen? Is he going to tough it out here? Let's find out in game 4. It's a must-win game, as are the next 3 for Freitas if he's to take this tournament further.
Franziska looks solid. He's serving well. His third ball is strong. He's moving well between balls too. He's conceding no ground. Normally Freitas is one that can topspin both forehand and backhand. He plays the angles. He usually moves his opponent away from the table on that basis, as an example of it. But overall, Patryk Franziska has been holding strong.
You feel that Freitas just doesn't quite have enough purchase on the ball as he normally does. Better. Going to get a real insight into the German's mind. 22 years old. Does he have the belief? That's the big question. Can he convert against the top tenor for the first time?
So Freitas serving at 4-2 as the crowd give their appreciation to Malong, who comes through against Jonas of Greece. 4-0. Wasn't as plain sailing as that may sound. First game, I believe, was very, very close indeed. Meantime, Freitas wins the first of 2 points on his serve here. Leads 5-2 in game 4. And the other last 32 match coming to an end, and it's not good news for Team Portugal. Vladimir Samsonov winning 4-0.
Back here on table 2, Freitas just being that little bit more proactive, going after the ball.
It's a great parallel ball from Franziska. He'll know what Freitas is capable of in terms of comebacks. He won't want to give him that opportunity. Oh, nice shape on the forehand there. Strong from the German. Freitas not comfortable.
Well, he's been relatively unfazed, has Francisco, with the forehand loop from Freitas that normally does so much damage, but there a rare error off the backhand side from the forehand loop of Freitas. Terrific serve.
Double bouncer. See it here again. Perfect serve, double bounce, tight on the net. That's what you want, textbook stuff there. Short serve to bounce just on the white line on second bounce. Your opponent may think it's coming off the end, may hesitate slightly, or may make the error directly. So 4-8.
Oh, explosive from Freitas.
He's just getting his feeling here a little bit. Nice receive, nice and short.
And the plus of an edge ball as well, which he acknowledged.
Nice from Franziska, breaking the wrist. He just needs to try and hang in on this one. If he can just pull off a couple more points, put the pressure back on to Freitas. Although if Freitas wins this one, what a match we'll have in store. Oh, he's got it off the net. Little bit of a scrappy game, this game 4. Not that Marcos Freitas will worry too much if he does secure it. Every game counts. And what a way to get yourself back into the game. I always used to think if you could battle your way through one game, gives you a little bit of psychological boost to get yourself right back into the mix in this match. And that's exactly what Marcos Freitas has done. Check that out on screen.
Yeah, he's done that with an emphatic scoreline, hasn't he? 11 points to 5. That really is sending out a message of intent. Stay with us. Well, we're going to get a good insight now into the mental dynamics of both men. Freitas, obviously, with the declaration of the last game win, now trailing 1-3. Has he got what it takes to turn this one around? He needs to win every game out of the next 3. Franziska, he just needs one more in this race to 4. Let's see what this holds in this fascinating encounter. Franziska's been moving exquisitely so far for a big, tall man. Will that continue if some tension really sets about this match?
Positive from Franziska. He'll try and tilt the scale back in his favour after game 4, and that's exactly the type of point that was normal through the first 3 games. Nice tight serve, great third ball attack.
That was a terrific receive from Freitas, who seems extremely focused now. Brilliant from the German.
Fantastic array of spin and speed there, Paul. Wonderful. Freitas opened up beautifully with a slow spinny one, then accelerated both on the backhand side. But look at Franziska getting round on the backhand side with the forehand. Beautiful table tennis. Fantastic stuff.
Nip and tuck the whole way, nothing between them early in this fifth game. A must-win game, to remind you, for the man in green, if he's to keep his World Championship title bid alive. Every day that passes here in Suju in this World Champs is just getting more and more exciting. Gradually, more seeds topple. Will Marcos Freitas be another casualty in that regard? Oh, heaps of work on that from Franziska, who gives us the double fist pump.
This could turn out to be the deciding game right here. 3-1, Patrick Franziska leads, but it's 5-4 in this fifth game. A crucial game it is too. Very, very positive from Patrick Franziska.
He's going after it. He's not just going to wait for Freitas to fold. He's going to bring it on to him and just showing such good guts and determination. Edging towards his first top 10 win. Yeah, it was a poor
Great serve.
popped up receive, wasn't it?
It did indeed. He just misread it there, I think, Paul, and Freitas recognises he's losing control or concentration, calls timeout, but look at that ball, boom, right into the belly button. As Patrick Franziska skips to the barrier for no doubt positive words from Jörg Roskopf. Of course, world doubles champion back in 1989 in Dortmund.
In a way, you feel that all Freitas is hanging on for is a hope that the big, tall, young man might get a little bit tight. But at the moment, no signs of that. He's been very mature throughout, hasn't he?
He has, he has. There they are. I think Jörg Roskopf will just be saying, keep positive, great serve and variation. Keep following up strong on those third balls. Freitas isn't sure, he's not confident, so take it to him. As for Freitas, he has to give it a real go now. He hasn't really been aggressive enough, and he has to really try to give it one go. It might only take a point or two before things change or the circumstances go in your favour.
Yeah, I commentated.
We need to be something.
I saw him at the Russian Open, Freitas, and he was beaten by Drinkel, and partially as well because his court position is sometimes, you know, he does stay back from the table. He likes to loop, but a lot of players can take advantage because they're not rushed, and that seems to be what's happening a little bit here. He's relatively ineffective, but still.
3-1, 7-4, Paul.
Yeah.
Very much in the favour of Patrick Franziska.
Still a long way to go.
Here he goes. And he took a little bit of a bouncy serve from Patrick. He'll not be pleased with that one. Nonetheless, Freitas had to do something with it. He's come across, like many players do nowadays, played the backhand flick, and too much for Patrick Franziska to contain on the block. Closes his eyes, visualises the victory, visualises the tactics, probably rather than the victory. Get himself back on to what he has to do. Here comes the Freitas serve. And from here we could hear the sorry. from Franziska. He's clipped the net in one of those balls.
3 points away from round 4.
What a result this would be. First time that Franziska will have beaten FREITAS. He hasn't won a game in their 2 previous encounters, losing 4-0, 3-0. This is an entirely different story, though.
Testament to how much the young German has improved. The moment of truth on his own serve.
And that is exactly where Franziska does the right thing on a regular basis. He doesn't try the fancy one. He doesn't try to break the risk and play one inside out. He doesn't try to take it off the bounce. He just plays solid, plays the angle, plays the percentages. Very difficult to break down. And would you believe it? He's got 5 match points, the German.
Well, it's a terrific receive from FREITAS under immense pressure, but he's got to do it 4 more times to get back into this one and win another 2 games. Stranger things have happened, though. Match point number 2. Oh, yes, we've witnessed a seismic upset here. Franziska, the German, is through against Marcos FREITAS, the 8th seed, ousted from the World Championships in Suzhou. So it's all smiles for the big, tall German, his first ever career top 10 win. And there's confirmation on the graphic. What a match that was, Johnny.
Fantastic performance, efficiency, focus. FREITAS not at his best, arguably, but perhaps Patrick played in such a way that prevented FREITAS from coming into it. Regardless, you've got to do that out in the court at the World Championships, and that 22-year-old player right there did just that. Sehr gut, very good play, and he finds himself now in the last 16, and he will enjoy moving through the draw, and we'll see him over the next day or so.